Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a faithful follower of Christ, and I'm on day 130 of eating only beef and butter. And that right there is a sign that says love you, spelled out in hamburger patties, right here on this island. I'm sitting here at my kitchen island about to eat this brisket and this butter. And it was right here that Franklin was cooking himself some burger patties, and I had to run an errand. It was on Mother's Day, and I must have been about 2 weeks beef and butter only. 2 weeks into our 60-day commitment that we have now doubled. And he said, "Do you want me to make you some burger patties?" I said, "Yes, please." And when I got home, I had that little surprise burger patties. He had cooked me burger patties and then spelled out a message. So cute. I don't love germs or kids' hands touching my food, but I gobbled those up. So this is not fun. And that is sort of a play, not on words, because it's not fun. Is it? Is it kind of fun? It's delicious. I enjoy it. But here's my point. I wanted Greg and I to have a spontaneous date night last night because Saturdays are not happening now that we have 3 kids playing football. So we are so busy on Saturday with football that we've not been enjoying much of a date night on Saturday night. So last night, Wednesday night, 6 of our 6 kids, we've got 1 off to college, 6 still in the nest. All 6 of them went to 2 different churches. So excited. They love Wednesday night church, have a blast, get fed, and I get 2 hours kid free. And so I asked Greg if, hang on just a second. I'm gonna try, nope, I'm not. My phone's dying, so it's like the screen is black. Oh, I can fix it. Okay, there. Forgive me. Now it's not black anymore. I wanted to go on a spontaneous date with Greg last night, and while the kids were in church. So, but I wasn't hungry. I didn't know what to do, and he didn't either. We were like, "What should we do?" And I finally came back home, and we did a bunch of random things around the house. It was really fun. Not so much of a date, but let me show you. We got our meat dehydrator out of the box that we've had for a long time. Susan Miller, if you're listening, you know I am very intimidated by unboxing things. So we've literally had this since Christmas, but I think we're gonna like it. Look at that little dehydrator. And we are gonna be able to dehydrate our cow that we got butchered. It came with a bunch of, we asked the guy we have 4 or 5 of these packages. Jerky, that is sliced real thin, so we can make some jerky. Here is a pickle pop. You can order these on Amazon. These are little popsicle sleeves, and then I fill them. It comes with a funnel, and you fill them, and then when they're not frozen, look at that pickle juice. I just stick them right here and let them freeze, but I'm not gonna do that anymore. Once I run out of these, so what? Because these are so much handier. These are pickle pops, so we don't put any of our pickle juice down the drain. It's making my mouth water thinking about them. But did you know that if your body's asking you for sugar, give it sour? And then it'll finally get the point. And it'll say, every time I ask for sugar, I get sour, which throws me for a loop, but it's kind of good. And eventually your body will just quit asking for sugar. I don't know, that's the idea, right? And just go ahead and skip right over and ask you for sour. Sorry, I'm saying sugar, I mean sweet. It's asking you for sweet, give it sour. Give it a shot of pickle juice, give it a pickle pop. So that's what I got all summer long. I just went May 7th to today. I'm still on a roll here. Greg and I both are, with no end in sight, beef and butter only, period. And so I just spent the entire summer. I went an entire summer, my birthday, our anniversary, family vacations, pool, ball games. Concession stands a lot of times have pickle pops. And so that kind of held me over. Anyways, not fun. Let me get back to this, why this is not fun. And here's what I mean by that. Greg and I were going to go on a date, and then I was like, I don't know what to do. Oh, we did that dehydrator. Sorry. I got one more thing to show you before I explain this not fun thing. Look at this. Here is Franklin's little, this is not even what I want to show you, but it's right here. Well, I do want to show you, obviously. 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, so on down to 1. Franklin decided he wanted a 60-day commitment. These are just post-it notes. A 60-day commitment of no sugar, no flour. And then he has inspired his sisters to do a 60-day commitment of jumping jacks and push-ups, and then 2 of his brothers are doing no sugar, no flour with him, and 1 of his brothers is doing no sugar with him. So go Franklin. But look what we set up last night. This was what we did for our date. We set up that football net. Didn't that look like fun? You can stand way back and throw the football into those different pockets and try and score different scores. So that's what we were doing for our date. The clock was ticking. We were running out of time, and I realized I was not hungry, so we could not go get burger patties somewhere. And then I remember thinking to myself, I'm not hungry, but I could think of so many carbohydrates that would be fun to go get, right? I mean, I'm not hungry. I don't want beef. Like, I felt like I had beef and my phone died. So what I was saying is yesterday I had already eaten brisket, and when I get brisket, and I get it from this barbecue shack down the road, they only have it Wednesday through Saturday. It's so good. And look, timers. If you have a bunch of kids, you should have a bunch of timers, because that'll keep them from fighting about things, and it'll keep them on task, and it'll I tell them we're gonna all work together on the kitchen for 10 minutes, and if I catch you slacking, I'm gonna add a minute. So the things we can get done in 10 minutes. Anyways, when I eat brisket, a lot of times I just eat once a day, and I had already eaten brisket yesterday, and it was plenty, because this brisket is so fatty and I love it. I cannot get enough of this stuff. I get it every single week. I usually go get 4 pounds of it and then eat on it for as long as it'll last. But I put it in my air fryer for so long at 400 degrees. You almost cannot put it in there too long, until the fat is so crispy, like a donut. It's so good, like roast butter. And I use this sweet cream butter that is absolutely sweet. Mary wanted to buy some candy corn last night, and I was like, oh. And I told Greg, it was interesting. I've never had this reaction before, but when I saw her walking up to me with this candy corn, I was like, oh, that hurts my mouth. It hurts my mouth. Because the look of it made me feel like, you know, a kid. It's so sad when a kid has like a mouthful of just teeth that are just rotting. It looks so painful. And then I think all that sugar on my teeth. I have not had sugar. I've not had 1 carbohydrate for 130 days. 0. Because beef has 0 and butter has 0. And just the look of that candy corn, I just had this like weird reaction to it. Of like, oh, that hurts my teeth. It just looks like cavity. It looks like tooth decay. Youch. Anyways, I had eaten all this beef yesterday. All this brisket in particular. And so when it was time to have that date with Greg, I was like, I don't want beef, but I could think of a bunch of carbohydrates that would be fun. And as I heard myself think that, I thought, oh my gosh, ding, ding, ding. If that's not the nature of the problem, if that's not the nature of the beast, this is not supposed to be fun. Don't get me wrong. It was so fun eating carbohydrates for decades. And you all have probably heard my crutch analogy. God gives us crutches at times. I believe that. That was sanity saving for Greg and I. He was in law school. We were 12 hours away from family, having babies. We had 2 babies while he was in law school. I was suffering from severe depression. Bless his heart, he would come home from school, from class, and here he's got these 2 tiny babies and this wife that is just totally out of her mind, and it was so much on him. I was struggling so terribly mentally. Restaurants were our lifeline. He and I will both tell you the 3 right by our house. We could walk to all of them. A Mexican restaurant, a Sonic, and a little diner. And that was our crutch, and that kept us. We would go out to dinner, sit at a booth. You know, the waitresses were getting to know the babies, and they were so sweet. And we could pretend for an hour that we weren't struggling like we were. And it felt great to pretend like we weren't struggling like we were. So grateful for that. We're still paying his loans. That was 20 years ago, and he has never practiced law. But that was worth every penny, to be able to forge our marriage in fire and be so far away from everyone and have to walk through those dark days together. Greg almost makes me tear. Tear up. It kind of does. So, food was fun. Dessert was fun. Restaurants were fun. Booths were fun. I tell everybody I gained 100 pounds sitting in a booth across from my husband over the course of several years. But here's the problem with that. If food is your entertainment and you are addicted like I am, then it's gonna be the pros will finally not outweigh the cons. And at this point in my life, I don't need that crutch, and I don't want that crutch. And now that the babies are bigger, well, they're big kids and they're active and they want to do well in sports, and I want to model behaviors for them. I want them to know how to troubleshoot. I want them to know how to be human. I want them to know how to navigate this human experience and how to interact with these bodies that we're in. And I am just now learning how. It blows my mind. This says rest. For years and years and years and years, when I got tired, I just jacked myself up on sugar. I did not learn. It's like I'm just now learning. It's really profound. It's quite this phenomenon. I'm just now learning how to be human, I swear, because for decades, if I had any negative emotion or and for me, it was 95% of the time, not so much a negative emotion, it was just exhaustion. 5 babies, then plus 2 more kids that were like babies, 100-pound babies, 6 and 8-year-old boys that were like adding, maybe not newborns, but like toddlers to the family. I just turned to sugar over and over and over and over and over and over and over to keep me going. That's why I consider myself an accidental addict. So my phone just did that thing again. Let's see here. All right. I am already, there we go, going to have to string these together. Y'all know, if you've watched any of my videos, you probably know I do not like editing videos, but I will string these together. And are you enjoying that background music? I might as well add music. You're welcome. So I heard myself say, I'm not hungry for beef last night, but I can think of all sorts of carbs that would be fun. And then all of a sudden I was like, what? That is not the right reason to chew and swallow for someone like me. Food can be your entertainment if you can keep it under control, but I cannot. So I have no business eating for the fun of it. And this is what I tell people. The crutch analogy is, a crutch is a blessing and a gift and a help until the minute you don't need it anymore. And as soon as you don't need it, it's only holding you back. Hebrews 12:1-2, Lord, let us throw off everything that hinders us. What if Forrest Gump had not kicked off those braces? He could not have reached his full potential. Are you with me? Those braces, the crutches, they hold us back as soon as we don't need them. Our muscles will not build and regain strength after atrophy if we don't get rid of the crutch and push ourselves to learn to walk again and learn to rest. Maybe not even again, but for the first time. I don't know. I probably rested when I was a baby, took naps. I don't know. After that, I learned to use sugar. And I can remember as early as high school, like, my friends are coming over. I'm very tired. I had soccer practice. I had to work. Now we're going to go out. I better jack myself up on sugar and flour before we go where? Out to dinner. I couldn't figure it out, but now I get it. Anyways, that's the crutch analogy. Let us throw off everything that hinders us, and a crutch becomes a hindrance the moment we don't need it. And that is for us to discern. The other analogy I like to use is the gas station. When you go on a road trip, the gas station should not be one of the main events. It's where you fuel up. So this here, while it's delicious, and while my vehicle probably loves diesel, that's not the whole point of the trip. And if we think it is, we're really missing out. We're missing out on the experiences that we could be having. So this is not fun, although it's delicious and I'm very excited to eat it. And it's kind of fun eating it, honestly. But my point is, I'm not eating it for fun. Like my other video, one thing I don't do anymore is eat for the sole purpose of pleasure. That got me in all sorts of trouble and 100 pounds overweight. And now that I'm 130 days beef and butter only, my mental health issues are in remission. My eczema that I had for 20 years is gone. My taste and smell have come back because I'm not clouding up my body with carbohydrates so I can get all the zinc out of this beef. Did you know you need milligrams of vitamins if you're eating carbohydrates? You need nanograms of those same vitamins. If you're not eating carbohydrates, you're not blocking the absorption of all this good stuff. And the difference between a milli and a nano is 1,000,000. You need 1,000,000 times. You need 1,000,000 times less of certain vitamins, of all vitamins. I don't know, certain, don't listen to me, I'm not a doctor. But I did listen to one, Dr. Anthony Chaffee. He's cute, have you seen him? Wink, wink. All right, he cracks me up, and he is kind of cute, but Greg is cuter. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. No offense, Dr. Anthony Chaffee. I'm gonna blush. But in my defense, Anthony Chaffee does a lot of videos shirtless, so I think he knows he's cute. But I have listened to him, and he taught me about nano and milligrams. Where were we? My taste and smell is back. My anemia is fine. I'm usually very low on iron. Not anymore. I'm going to keep going. Greg and I are going to keep going. We are getting nothing but affirmation to keep going. And look, we don't care. If the Lord wants us to eat blizzards, we will eat blizzards, but apparently he doesn't. I got a nice big mineral water here. Check out this. This is so huge. From the Mennonites down the street. And this is why it's working for me to just stick with beef. Number one, because it has everything I need and nothing I don't. So it's just the perfect food, right? But also, I made my kids bacon, egg, and cheese this morning. I made a huge griddle of just, I don't know, 20 eggs and covered it in cheese and covered it in bacon. I took them to school. I left it out for my 16-year-old to eat on his way to school. I came back and I started put all that away. I came back and started putting all that away. And y'all, could have eaten every bit of it because I do not have to be hungry to eat scrambled eggs, cheese, or bacon. But I do have to be hungry to eat this, a big hunk of a cow. So that's it. This is not fun. And it's not supposed to be. For me. I'll speak for myself. But this is delicious. It's making my mouth water. It's perfect. It's wonderful. It makes me feel just like, you know what? Let me tell you one effect beef has on me. Beef makes me feel like I'm never in a hurry. Isn't that strange? I swear to you, when I'm eating beef, I'm standing around this island with all my kids, and I'm calm. And it's like, instead of, we gotta hurry, we're never gonna get there, we're never gonna get to bed, hurry up, hurry. I'm just calm, like, it's fine. Beef gives me this sense of peace that I can only attribute to it. Well, in God who gave it to me. But I literally, when I eat beef, I feel so calm and peaceful. And I have this sense of everything's headed in the right direction. And it used to be so much fun to eat chips and dip and drink margaritas and eat burritos and nachos and Dairy Queen cakes and burgers and fries and popcorn at the movie theater. That used to be so much fun. But so did going to clubs in Nashville, and I outgrew that, thank goodness. Nobody wants me at a club in Nashville. I don't know, even if they did, just would not be the best thing for me to be doing today. But my point is, we mature. And what was fun was also destructive. And you know what's really fun now? Getting things in better and better order around here so that it's easier and easier to have more fun. That's it. I love you dearly. Have a great day. I'm going to enjoy this beef and then rest. Rest and digest. We want our parasympathetic nervous system engaged, not our sympathetic. We don't want fight, flight, or freeze. We don't want to eat and then rush or stress. We want to eat and then relax, like a lion that ate a gazelle and is now napping under a tree. That's it. I love you.